How I earn £30,000 a month on LinkedIn and Instagram without ads. I've been on LinkedIn since April 2022 after having built a 40,000 person audience online on Instagram. And whilst I was building that audience, I learned how to use social media to produce leads. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is give you the five things you need to focus on to go to multiple 5-figure months without ads on pretty much any social network. Firstly, I worked on my offer and I optimized my profile. An offer should consist of lots of different things: your audience, the pain points, the price point of your product or service. But for me, I'm going to break it down into three: a big promise, the pillars, and the deliverables. So every offer should have a big promise or an outcome. Now for me, it was a transformation. It was helping people hit 5K or 10K months using organic content on Instagram or on LinkedIn. So that's my outcome. That's my promise. I know that it's something people want. They want money and they want to do it organically without having to pay loads of money for ads. So it's pretty simple. But then we break it down into the milestones or the pillars. So the 3 or 4 or 5 key things that person must do or complete in order to reach that outcome. For me, it's 3. Kind of similar to what I'm talking about here. A well-crafted offer that people want to buy, a marketing strategy, and sales. 3 things. So we'll nail your offer, we'll help you piece together an intentional content strategy that generates leads, and we'll show you how to close those leads on structured sales calls. That's the 3 milestones. That's it. Then the nuts and bolts or the deliverables. So with my program, Content to Clients, there are 5. You get one-to-one calls with me, you get twice weekly group calls, you get access to the Content to Clients course, you can have weekly check-ins with our client success manager, and you get 6 months of community access alongside loads of other people who've all invested 4 figures who are all on the same journey as you. Once I had that offer in place, I took parts of it and transferred it to my profile to make sure that the right bits stood out. Now, I've got other videos coming on how to optimize your Instagram and how to optimize your LinkedIn profile. I won't go into detail now, but you want to make sure that every piece of real estate, profile picture, banner, about section, profile link, is all tailored and all reflects the outcome that you can provide and who you can provide it to. The second thing is understanding the journey. I knew exactly where I wanted to take people. So if people aren't aware of you, we need to grab their attention somehow. Now that could be a variety of things. It could be a follow, it could be a like, could be a comment, could be a DM, it could be a freebie that you're promoting. But we want to grab that person's attention and get them to know us, which is the next stage. We want to get people to know us and understand us, what we're about, who we are, things in our personal life that we might wish to share. And once we share enough of that, a percentage, hopefully a large percentage of those people are going to get to like us. They'll like what we stand for. They'll like our opinions. They'll like the way that we do things. They'll like the look of our content. They might even like our backdrop or the clothes that we wear. It might even be our appearance. Once they like us, we can then start to build trust. And they get to trust what you say. They get to understand why you say it. And they buy into you as a person, alongside your marketing, alongside your content.
It's the kind of behavior that builds trust.
But you're bringing in content, ideally, at every single stage of this journey just to reinforce what that person thinks. And hopefully it's positive. After that, a small percentage of them will fit into who your target clients are. So what we want to do is use specific lead gen tactics to take them to the next stage of working with us, which in my case is booking a free call. The thing to understand here is that your brand equity will build over time, okay? And every single action that you take is like a deposit into a bank account. So every DM that you send, every piece of video content you post, every client transformation that you highlight, every single time you go live or do a collab post, all these things are working in your favor to build that brand equity and strengthen that person's perception of you, of your service, or of your product. So I like to show up quite consistently and make these deposits, okay? Just keep paying it forward. Keep giving people more information, more reasons as to why you are the person to work with, as to why you know what you're talking about, as to why you are a thought leader in this space. And after a while, after enough touch points, you're going to take them from that not knowing who you are through the attention stage, through the know stage, through the like, through the trust stage, all the way to becoming a lead and hopefully becoming a client, as I say. And I think one thing that a lot of business owners forget is that after that person has booked a call, they're still judging you. Before they turn into a client, and even after that, they are still judging you. So what content you provide between the call being booked and hopping on that call, again, will work in your favor or not. So just take a step back and look at all the different touch points, all the different points in the journey someone might interact with you, and think about how you can improve them. Which ties into point number 3, clear signposting. And what most people do on social media is try and take their prospects in too many directions. They'll ask them to like, share, follow, comment, subscribe. I've got a free ebook, I've got a $37 course, I've got group coaching, I've got one-to-one coaching, and all of a sudden, this person hasn't got a clue. They don't know what the hell's going on.
What the hell?
So it's really, really clear to be very directional and very prescriptive. Where do you want people to go? What do you want them to do? How do they have to do it in order to get there in the quickest way possible? And I find giving people less options is the best thing to do here. So one clear CTA, just like I'm going to do at the end of this video. I'm not going to try and take you off platform or get you to book a call. You can if you want, the link's below. But what I'm actually going to do is try and get you to watch a video, the next video, and it'll be about LinkedIn. And because of that, because there's only one direction, it narrows the choice that that person has to make. So it's just like, it's one thing, click it. Dead easy. And you'll have different objectives. You'll have different journeys that you want to take people on. I'm not saying don't have a freebie and don't offer one-to-one. All I'm saying is be very prescriptive and be very intentional about what that piece of content says and what action you want people to take at the end of it. Point number 4 is back-end systems, okay? I'm quite a systems and processes orientated guy, which is cool. It helps me out a lot, but I want to show you the 3 tools that I use the most in my business. Now, first is Calendly, okay? And I use that as a calendar management piece of software so people can book in calls, and it ties in directly with Zoom and my diary. But I also use it as a qualification tool as well. I don't just hop on the phone with anyone. You have to be in the right location. You have to want the right kind of help. You have to be in a position to invest financially and with time as well. So I use this tool in order to, 1, qualify people, but 2, to automatically schedule things in my diary. The next thing I use, which you've probably heard of, is a tool called Zapier, which acts as a middleman.
No middleman, especially Russian middleman.
Almost. It sits in between 2 pieces of software. So from Calendly, when I capture someone's email address, that will automatically go into Zapier, and then Zapier will send it to my CRM, which is in the 3rd tool I'm about to mention. And just having this automation set up saves me time. And this is why I'm able to put myself in so many different places at once, because you can use other people and you can use machines too. So Zapier integrates directly with my 3rd favorite tool, which is Notion. And if you've not heard of Notion, seriously, you are missing out. It's an absolute game changer. It's changed my life from an organizational standpoint. So every time someone books in on the first tool, Calendly, their information's then sent to Zapier, which then sends it to Notion. And it means I have a detailed list of all the people that I want to speak to, all the conversations that I'm currently having, and all the people that have booked in. And it pulls all the answers to all the qualification questions in Calendly straight through to my CRM in Notion. And understanding the back-end systems that are going to save you time is absolutely crucial. So many people just start a business and repeat the same task day in, day out, mundane tasks, and don't get any of the time back. And you'll start to see, once you've been doing this for a while, what some of these things are, and you'll need tools like this to help you simplify. And the last point, point number 5, your daily workflow matters. Nothing matters more than the actions you take every single day. So establishing a workflow, the small repeatable tasks that you have to perform that get the biggest results. The first thing I do here is plan ahead of time. So before I finish for the day, I work out the 3 to 6 things that I want to do or need to do tomorrow. So it's called Planning Tomorrow Today. It's been around for a while. I've heard numerous people talk about it, but really, really effective. So just spend 15 to 30 minutes writing down what the exact goals are. And if you're structured, you'll know what your goals are for the year, the quarter, the month, the week, and just make sure that your daily actions reflect those goals, or at least making progress on those goals. One thing for me that I always do as part of my workflow is make sure that my inbox is emptied. All people are responded to, and I also send a few DMs out every single day too. So that is something, alongside posting content, that I do every single day, because that falls as part of the act of prospecting and making sure that people are aware that I can help them and having conversations with the right people. Now, you might have emails in your workflow, or you might have a team check-in, for example, which is something I do once a week. I probably should do more of it. But that brings me to the last point in this section, which is business operations. So alongside doing all the marketing, posting content, alongside the prospecting and a lead gem, I also want to make sure that my business is running efficiently. And that means taking a look at various different things, and there are only a handful, but the main one being cash flow. Where are we at from a financial point of view? What's coming in as well? And what money have we got to pay out? So it may be paying suppliers or paying for software, and just making sure that everything is running cleanly and smoothly. From an operational standpoint as well, I like to make sure that myself or the team are consistently checking in with clients. If there are any problems coming up, we want to know about them sooner rather than later. There's nothing worse than a stone that's unturned or a problem that you don't know about that actually only makes its way to you in the last minute. Making sure that all these things are listed And they're all very easy to do because all you do is work through and tick them off day after day after day. And it does sound boring, but that's part of running a business. And yes, I've got some help with my marketing. Yes, I've got some help with client success, but the workflow still matters. It just evolves slightly when you bring people in to help. So we've run through the 5 things that I do to consistently earn and hit multiple 5-figure months organically on social. We've got the offer and the optimized profile. We've got the journey, clear signposting. We've got the back-end systems, and we've got the daily workflow. Okay. Now, as promised, if you want to know how to hit 5,000 followers in 90 days on LinkedIn, which is exactly what I did, and all the learnings from it, you can watch this video here, and I'll break down my exact approach and everything that I picked up along the way too. All right, guys, I'll see you in that video next.